Look at this one. So the parent complained about the segregation. There was a classroom in which they segregated the black kids, put all the black kids and coloured kids into one class and the white kids elsewhere. And then when the parents complained, the school board attempted to justify this as inclusion. Have a watch.
I'm sorry for anybody who feels that that was an indication of segregation. It was really an intent from the board to be able to hear from our historically marginalized families. We wanted to be able to have an environment where they could share freely and honestly and feel vulnerable. And so we have heard from those families before, and we understand that sometimes the environment isn't comfortable. So having them surrounded by other people similar to them makes it easier. So our intent was to create more welcoming an environment and to be more inclusive versus to exclude anyone.
No.
You mentioned Orwell. Exclusion is inclusion. Segregation
is inclusion. And the road to harmony and unity and racial peace and justice is not only segregation, but if you listened and you read between the lines there, what they were talking about is, and let us encourage people to go off into their own corners and pick over the scabs of racism and...
But more than that, as a person of colour, can I say how utterly disgusting it is to have someone there suggest that people of colour are not emboldened to talk and share. If there's a white person in the room, they need to be amongst people.
We've never noticed this problem.
We've never noticed that problem.
You know what it is? It's the bigotry of low expectations. You would never say that about a white person. You would never say, oh, well, you know, we really want to hear from you, but obviously you don't feel confident speaking up because there's an Asian there and there's a black person there and there's a Middle Eastern person there. But if you're a person of colour, apparently you're hopeless, you're fragile, you can't express yourself unless you're surrounded by people who look like you. It is so friggin' disgusting. I am sick of it. I am sick of this bigotry of low expectations that's presented as inclusion, and we're expected to cop it.
Absolutely. And also the other side of it is, of course, the lying. So if you segregate people, you've got a group of people here, they can say whatever they want about that group of people, and there's no one to say, well, hang on, that's not true. We don't think like that, or you don't think like that. So it is deliberately fostering suspicion, mistrust, hatred, division. It's really sinister
So you say something different when I'm in the room,
That's right.
but if I'm out of the room, then the story changes. Yeah, that's really a way to bring people together.
The leftist mindset, and Rita is right, it is, its tentacles are all throughout our institutions here in Australia. We must